Hello class, this is Professor Clark, and today we're going to be talking about percentages. Specifically today, we're going to be talking about how to convert a decimal to a percentage. Let's start with 0.7 or 0.7. If you can see, I got a 0, that's an underline under it, so I got a 0.7, and I want to convert the 0.7 to a percentage. Now, when you want to convert 0.7, multiply by 100, and you'll get 70%, or a lot of people like to say move the decimal point 2 places to the right. When you move the decimal point 2 places to the right, if I start here, 2 places to the right, 1, 2, I get 70. Moving the decimal point 2 places to the right is exactly the same as multiplying by 100. Second number I want to look at is 0.07. 0.07 as a decimal, multiplying by 100 or moving it 2 places to the right is going to give you just 7. So as you see, 0.7 gives you 70% and 0.07 gives you 7%, which makes a lot of sense because 0.7 is the same as 70 over 100, which is the same as 7/10, which is 70%. If you had a dollar, then 0.7 would be 70 pennies. If you had a dollar down here and you had just 7 pennies, it wouldn't be 70 pennies make a dollar, it would just be 7 pennies make a dollar. Now I want you to pay particular attention. This is 0.7 and this one is 0.07. In this case, the 0 is to the left of the decimal point where it doesn't really change the problem. I can say 0.7 or I can just say 0.7. This 0 is insignificant. It doesn't change the problem at all. But if you look down here, there's a big difference between 0.07 and just regular 0.7. Be careful. Sometimes people make the mistake and they treat 0.07 like 0.7, or they'll treat 0.7 like it's 0.7, and you can't do that. Well, 0.7 is 7, but don't treat 0.7 like it's 0.07. Be careful of these two and understand the distinction. 0.7 is 7/10. 0.07 is 7/100. So it's going to be a difference between 70% and 7%. Be careful. Next one is what happens when I have a number bigger than 1. Like 7, for example. 7.0, again, there is no real difference between 7 and 7.0. But to convert from a decimal to a percentage, I'm going to still multiply by 100 like I've been doing. So 7.0 times 100 gives you 700%. Finally, if I have 70, or if you can see this here in red, that's a little 0. So 70 or 7.0 multiplied by 100 gives you 7,000%. And if you think about this in terms of pennies, this makes a lot of sense, right? If I had 7/10, or if I had 70 pennies, I would have 70%. If I had 0.07, that's the same as 7 pennies. Well, that's 7 cents. If I had $7, that would be 700 pennies. And if I had $70, I would actually have 7,000 pennies. So the percentages tend to make a lot of sense, but you just have to be a little careful. And I know you guys like the 2 places to the right rule, but also remember 2 places to the right is the same as multiplying by 100. Thank you. The next video I'm going to have is percentage to decimals. Later.